If you're looking for a custom wood craftsman, residential or commercial, look no further. Located in upstate New York, only 20 minutes from Saratoga Springs, which is known worldwide for their horse racing and a variety of mineral springs, you will find this family-owned custom woodworking shop called LaRue Woodworking. Just like Saratoga and the surrounding area, this woodshop is enriched in history and tradition. Owner and master craftsman himself, William LaRue is the 7th generation on the family homestead originally settled in 1774. This multi-generation family farm is truly picturesque. Surrounded by fields of hay, corn and small grain, sits the main homestead with its white farmhouse, red barns and silos. As you drive along the long gravel driveway, paralleling the meandering creek, you will immediately get the sense of pride. The buildings are kept up. The equipment is neatly stored in the barns. And everywhere you look you will see manicured lawn and flower gardens. Inside the woodshop is no different. As soon as you walk in the office, William's pride is displayed for all to see. On the office walls are samples of the carvings and burnings that he has done. And on a large screen TV, there are video of some of the projects he and his team have built over the years. As I got the tour of the facility, the first thing I noticed was the cleanliness of this shop. When I used to think of a wood shop, I automatically vision piles of sawdust and lumber laying everywhere. Not here, not in this shop. William explained that he asks all his employees to stop work 20 minutes early every day before their shift ends, to do a cleanup. The floors are swept. The tools are all put away. All the specialty bits and knives go back neatly into their designated spots in the drawers. William also tries to use high-pressure air at least twice a week to blow all the dust off the equipment, the walls, and the projects being worked on. It truly is a sight that you need to see. A fully functional wood shop that is clean and organized. As the tour continued, I noticed he has state-of-the-art computers and computer-operated equipment. But it is also obvious that he is very proud of his heritage and the history of his trade. He has 200-year-old tools neatly displayed on the wall. When I asked him about them, he explained that in today's world of woodworking, computers and computer-operated equipment are essential to certain aspects of the business, but anyone can push buttons on a computer and get the machine to do the work. But a true craftsman uses his hands and the tools of the trade to produce beautiful works of art, and yes, some of those antique tools get used on a regular basis. As the tour continued, I had the opportunity to walk through a customer's custom kitchen that was being built in the assembly area. Being able to see this kitchen in its full layout was absolutely amazing. Next was the spray booth finish room, a bright white extremely well-lit room. William is utilizing a cross-draft ventilation system with filtered fresh air intake to ensure the finest finish possible. The next building we toured was what he calls the milling shop. When you first walk in, there is the milling table that William designed and built just for processing the large wood slabs and countertops that they build. This area also houses one of the largest laser engravers in the area. The 140-watt laser has the capability to cut through 3/4 of an inch of wood. The rest of the space is used to process the rough lumber into smooth, usable lumber and custom profile moldings. As you can see, like the woodwork shop, even the large equipment is on rollers and track system to utilize the limited space. We then moved on to the next stop of the tour, the photo studio. They don't have a showroom or display area at LaRue Woodworking, so each of their projects gets photographed. He explains that photos don't do their custom wood pieces any justice, but having this photo studio with studio lighting does help showcase their pieces. Then William took me upstairs in the old dairy barn, where I was awestruck in amazement. There are over 500 small, medium and large natural edge wood slabs stored up here. Each of these slabs have been painstakingly milled, kiln-dried, milled flat, photographed, labeled and stacked up here. All of these slabs will either be used by LaRue Woodworking or sold to other woodworkers. As we moved through the old barn, we entered what once was the dairy milking section. It is now his indoor lumber yard. They have 2 sawmills, and a wood kiln where all this wood has already been processed. It is then organized and stacked in here by its species, awaiting to be made into someone's vision. We then headed back to his office, where I had the opportunity to sit down with him and find out a little more about his history and passion for woodworking. These are a select few of unique projects that he and his team have completed over the years. How did you get started in woodworking?
Even as a kid, I was fascinated with what people can do with wood. When I was 8, I was making and selling cutting boards to the ladies at church. By the time I was in the 5th grade, I was making high-detailed wooden truck models and space shuttle models. And I was a sophomore, junior in high school. I had started making more elaborate pieces, but again, more for friends and family. But that's how I got started with my love of wood.
It sounds like you had a really nice hobby that was also making you a little money. So when and how did this hobby turn into a full-time business?
It was back in 2000. I designed and built this cherry canopy captain's bed with candelabras in the corners, a wooden chandelier hanging from the center of the canopy, backlit curved carryout cabinets on the side, dresser drawers underneath. I displayed this at the 2001 showcase here in Saratoga Springs. And after that, business really started picking up to the point that I ended up building the first section of my wood shop, which doubled my space from 450 square feet to 900 square feet.
So you doubled the size of your woodshop back in 2001. Was this just you, or did you have any employees at that point? And how big is your operation now?
No, it was just me back then. It wasn't until 2012 before I hired my first employee. The wood shop remained the same 900 square foot until about 2014 when I started expanding the shop. Today, we have about 10,000 square feet dedicated just to the woodworking business. I have 6 employees. We work 2 shifts a day and weekends. So things have definitely grown at a really nice rate over the last 6 years.
With everything that you do, what is your favorite part of your business?
My favorite thing about this is to see my customers' faces the first time they see their vision in real life. Quite often, it's very difficult for someone to express, to explain, to even draw a vision that they have in their head, let alone to have somebody else like myself understand it completely. But when we do it, that feeling is awesome.
It was a pleasure visiting the LaRue homestead and getting the tour of the custom wood shop. If you are looking to have any custom woodworking done, I highly recommend you visit William LaRue at LaRue Woodworking. You won't be disappointed, I guarantee that.